Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now. If you've been following the Packers this season, you know that the team's recent bye week in Week 5 came at just the right time. It's like a moment of pause for a team that's been navigating some injuries and trying to find its rhythm in what has been an unpredictable start to 2024. This bye week gave players a much-needed rest, especially those who have been battling through injuries, and it's already starting to show some promising signs of recovery and reinforcements. One of the key players coming back to practice is Zach Tom. For those who have been watching the offensive line closely, Tom's return is a significant boost for the Packers. He's been dealing with an oblique injury, and seeing him back on the practice field this Monday is a positive signal. Zach Tom has been a versatile piece along the offensive line, capable of playing multiple positions, and his presence helps stabilize a unit that has faced its share of challenges this season. Having him fully healthy and integrated into the team's plans is crucial as the Packers look to protect Jordan Love and establish a more consistent running game. But the good news doesn't stop there. The Packers also received a major boost in the wide receiver department, with Christian Watson returning to practice for the first time since tearing his ACL in Week 18 of the previous season. That's right, Watson, the blazing fast deep threat, and one of the most exciting players in Green Bay's offensive arsenal, is inching closer to a return. The fact that his 21-day practice window has now opened signals that the team is optimistic about his recovery and readiness to contribute once again. Watson's speed and ability to stretch defenses have been sorely missed, especially in games where the Packers needed a spark downfield. With Watson showing signs of returning to full health, the question now becomes how soon we'll see him back in action and what kind of impact he can have on the remainder of the season. And of course, this development has implications for the entire wide receiver room. It's worth noting that the Packers already have some talented options in the mix. Romeo Doubs, who's been a reliable target and is expected to stay on the roster, along with Matthew Golden, Malik Heath, and Savion Williams. The recent draft picks of Golden and Williams suggest that the team sees potential in these young receivers and wants to give them opportunities to grow and contribute in the coming weeks. Speaking of Williams and Golden, both have shown flashes of potential during their limited playing time, and with Watson's return looming, the depth chart at wide receiver is getting more crowded. What's particularly interesting is how this impacts the future of other receivers like Dontavian Wicks and Heath. Wicks, who has been somewhat of a steady presence, currently ranks second in snaps among wide receivers with 167, and he's got 114 receiving yards with 10 catches so far this season. However, his production has been somewhat inconsistent, with 3 of his 4 games featuring 30 or fewer yards. That's not bad, but it's not exactly breakout material either, especially when the team is eyeing more explosive options. In a division where every yard counts and every game is a battle, the Packers might be looking at their roster with a strategic eye. The trade deadline is approaching, and with Watson's imminent return, Wicks' role could be under scrutiny. The team already has a solid core of receivers, and with Watson's extension through 2026, their long-term plans are starting to take shape. But Wicks, despite being a second on the team in snaps, might be seen as expendable in the short term. His trade value could be appealing to other teams looking for depth at wide receiver, especially since the Packers could use some draft capital in return. Now, let's dive a little deeper into Wicks' stats and what he's brought to the table. Over his 36 career games, Wicks has caught 88 passes on 150 targets for a total of 110 yards and 9 touchdowns. These numbers show he's a capable player, able to step in and make plays when called upon. But with the current roster construction and the influx of new talent, the Packers might decide that Wicks' trade could be a smart move, especially if they can acquire draft picks that will help in future drafts or bolster other areas of the team. It's all about balancing the present with the future, and Green Bay has always been known for its smart roster management. Looking at the bigger picture, the Packers are in a fascinating position this season. Jordan Love has been showing flashes of the quarterback we hoped he'd develop into, and the team's defense continues to be a work in progress, but with some promising signs. The offensive line, with Zach Tom's return, is better equipped to protect him and give the offense a shot at consistently moving the ball. The return of Christian Watson is a game changer in terms of offensive explosiveness, and it could open up the field even more for the likes of Romeo Doubs and others. Doubs, in particular, has been impressive so far in 2025, and with his contract expiring at the end of the year, the Packers will need to decide whether to lock him up long-term or explore other options. All these developments point to a team that's trying to find its identity, balancing veteran talent with youth, and making strategic decisions that could define the franchise's direction for years to come. The NFC North is as competitive as ever, with teams like the Lions, Vikings, and Bears all vying for supremacy, but the Packers are positioning themselves to be serious contenders. They're not just trying to stay afloat, they're aiming to make a deep playoff run, perhaps even return to the Super Bowl. And with the pieces starting to fall into place, Watson's return, Zach Tom's health, and the potential roster moves at receiver, Green Bay's fans have every reason to feel optimistic about what's ahead. Now, looking ahead, the next few weeks will be critical. Will Watson be fully integrated into the offense and start making an impact right away? How will the offensive line perform with Zach Tom back in the fold? And perhaps most intriguingly, will the Packers make a move involving Wicks or other players to strengthen the roster for the stretch run? These are the questions that fans are buzzing about, and rightly so. This season is shaping up to be a pivotal one for Green Bay, not just in terms of wins and losses, but in how they're building for the future and maintaining their legacy of smart, strategic team management. The fans in Green Bay have always been known for their passionate support, and this year is no different. The atmosphere is electric, and every game feels like a potential turning point for the season. The return of key players like Watson and Tom signals that the team is serious about contending and making a push in the NFC. And let's not forget, the organization's focus on developing young talent while keeping core veterans happy is what has always set the Packers apart. This season, more than ever, they're at a crossroads, balancing the present with the future, trying to maximize every opportunity on the field while planning for long-term success. So, as we keep a close eye on the upcoming matchups and the roster moves, one thing is clear: the Green Bay Packers are not standing still. They're actively shaping their destiny, and it's shaping up to be an exciting ride for everyone rooting for the team. The combination of experienced players coming back, young talent stepping up, and strategic decisions about roster management could make all the difference in how this season unfolds. Fans should gear up for some crucial weeks ahead because the Packers are poised to make a statement, and their journey back to playoff prominence might just be gaining momentum. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.